no one, everyone, so many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds illusions I recall. I really don't know at all. Moons and tunes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale becomes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. And you leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's love's illusions that I recall. I really don't know. I really don't know at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud. They say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. Oh, but now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and they tell me that I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. It's life's illusions that I recall, 'cause I really don't know life. I really don't know life at all. Thank you very much. And now to your regularly scheduled program. Thank you very much. Margie.
Welcome to Inside the Artist's Mind with your hosts, Jay Harmon and Sally Barnard. Jay and Sally have always wondered what the inspiration is that drives others to create and express their art. Inside the Artist's Mind, we'll dive into the mind of the artist and teach us more than we ever knew. Enjoy the show.
Hi, and welcome to Inside the Artist's Mind. My name is Jay Harmon, and my associate is Sally Barnard, and we are here to talk to artists about their art and what they do, and to see if we can find inside the artist's mind a little bit about what they convey when they actually do their music and their artwork and their visual art and their performing, and that's what we are trying to discover here.
And having sung that beautiful song, you did it so beautifully. It's like it transports you to another place. I wanted to ask you that question.
It really does. When I sing, somebody could be throwing a rock at me, somebody could be trying to get my attention, anything they'd be trying to do, it wouldn't matter to me. When I sing my lyrics, I go somewhere else. And it's a funny thing, I have severe ADHD, imagine that. And I've learned to semi-control it, and not a lot of people do know I have ADHD until they watch me sing. Because when I sing, I go to the other place, my fingers go absolutely crazy. And it's just because I'm in that special place that really defies explanation.
And you had no idea that I was even going to ask you or even comment on that, but I had to say I felt that you were in your special place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ever since I was a kid, when I sang, I'd go somewhere else.
Right. I sense that very much.
Like it's
Beautiful.
not just when I sing, like music for me has always been a very spiritual thing. When I listen to music, I don't listen to it, I live it. When I hear music, I listen to the lyrics, and I can listen to a song over and over and over again, and I'll never get old. People say, why do you keep listening to that song? Because it keeps taking me to that place. And sometimes it's a place of happiness, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes, when I am in a mood that's upsetting to something, I listen to sad music. People ask you, well, why do you listen to sad music? Listen to something happy. Because it doesn't have that same connection. When you're sad and you listen to something sad and you feel that person's sadness, also you feel like you're not alone in the sadness, that people are sad.
Right, you relate to that.
I do relate, yes.
And that's the same similarity as it is with visual artists or other people in the arts, is that we try to relate. Music is a great way to relate to what you're doing, and if you listen to the type of music that is the mood that you are in. I know when I'm doing my artwork, I like to listen to music that is like the mood that I am in, that helps me to be stimulated to do the artwork that I want to do.
Yeah, like it's funny, like when you're in your art and you're doing something you're so passionate about, and like it's also with time. Like I also write, I'm a writer. When I sit down and I write, I start writing, and next thing I know, it's like, okay, oh my gosh, I've been here for a few hours now. And
Time,
it's
there's no
Yes,
time.
there is no
Doesn't
time.
exist.
No.
When you're creating, I think you'll
Right.
agree with this,
Absolutely.
that when you are really in the process of creating, that there is no time. You just find that
Right.
hours can go by and you don't even realize it, because you're in a zone where you are in this creative
I actually
moment.
realized that. I didn't know, because when I first started to paint, and I had Aldo, if anybody watches my show knows who he was in my place with me in my home, and I would sometimes be painting for 6-7 hours at a time, and he'd have to knock on the door to tell me I hadn't eaten. So I wasn't
know,
even
I
aware
know.
of that. So it's
I-
the same with anybody, I guess, any artist of any kind.
I realize that too, because I live by myself, and sometimes I look at the clock and I haven't had lunch yet.
Right. Yes.
And it's like 3 p.m, and
Yeah.
I said, well, I think I better eat. So it's
So,
like
yes, so I guess the same, and you lose
this
yourself.
is how you lose
You lose
yourself
yourself.
in your in your work.
Right. So that was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you
Did-
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Thank
and,
you so much. You know,
Yeah.
it's just music. Like, it's not just me either. When my family, we always do something fun. We do karaoke nights. And my dad, he is one of the most extraordinary people ever. He sets a goal and he does it.
You come from a musical family,
yeah.
then for what I
I'm
hear,
related
right?
to Sting.
Oh, okay.
You are, really?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, his full name is Gordon Sting Sumner.
Wow.
Sumner, really? Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
But with my father, and like this, you know, it kind of blew my mind a bit. You know, he said, you know, he wasn't professionally trained, so he said, you know what, I want to train myself to become a better singer. And he did that. And it's like, there's not a lot of people who can, without any help from any other person, sit back and say, okay, I want to do this. And he did it. And it's like, it inspires me that whenever I feel like I can't do something, I think about my family, I think about my uncle. I'm pretty sure you've met my uncle on the show. You know, I firmly believe that if my uncle wasn't in my life, or if my uncle isn't who he was, I would not be who I am. Because the reason I sing is because of him.
So you've had an inspiration
Oh, yeah.
from your uncle. See, everybody, I think, has had an inspiration from somewhere to become an artist. You are born with a gift, but you know there are
Well,
several factors that inspire you.
The funny thing, I wasn't born with it. This was all just training. My uncle told me at one point, you know, he said, Baxton, you know, I'm really proud of you, of how far you've come, because let me tell you, I remembered when you were singing some other kid, and oh my God, it was awful.
I was going to ask you, did you start singing as a child? But
No,
now you kind of
um,
answered that question,
When
right?
I was, like, I always liked singing. Music was kind of my thing. But I didn't really get into it till I was about 13. And are you familiar with the School of Rock? I went to the School of Rock when I was about 13, and I just started my journey. And, like, it was like fireworks, you know.
Okay,
I went there, and it...
We'll come back to that. We're
Yep.
going to a commercial break right now, and then as soon as we come back, we're going to be talking to Baxton a little bit more. So stay tuned.
Ant Media Productions is a multimedia studio approach where we're able to take one burn, podcast, video cast, put it on radio, put it on streaming. We bring in clients, community, producers, interns, students, businesses to spotlight their business.
And you believe in your heart you want the numbers to see it, then you come here, because this is a house of passion.
Well, I choose Ant Media because we do it right. We do it with heart, we do it with professionalism, compassion, and we do take business personally.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Welcome back to Inside the Artist's Mind with Jay Harmon and Sally Barnard. To be a part of the conversation, call 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show.
Hi, and welcome back to Inside the Artist's Mind. And today we're having a very stimulating conversation with Baxton Sumner. And he just, if you didn't see the first part of the show, he sang a beautiful, beautiful ballad of, who did the original?
Joni Mitchell. That was
Joni Mitchell, yes.
And I believe you're also going to, at the end, you're going to, we're
a
going to have the
demo. I
pleasure of another
recorded,
song.
like I always say, like my family is like my rock. They are everything to me.
But you were talking to me just when we were in the commercial, which is very interesting, how you were talking about your uncle being an inspiration in your life. Maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about that.
Yeah, if we go into that a little bit more,
I'm sure people
your
have
uncle?
people in their lives that do help
Yeah.
them into this, or as much
It's
as you feel
just-
comfortable, you know.
He, there's a lot to the code. He's always been that person. Whenever I'm struggling with something musically, I know I can call him. And it's the same thing with him. Whenever he struggles with something musically, he calls me. We just kind of view each other on a different level. I see him as almost like a second father figure in my life, and he sees me as one of his sons. He treats me like a son. And whenever I sing in front of him, he says, Baxton, what do you want from me here? What are you asking from me? Do you want me to say, oh, it sounds great, Baxton, even if it doesn't, because if that's what you want looking for, I can do that for you. But I don't, at one point I would have said, yeah, I'm just singing to sing. But at this point in my life, I don't need that. I don't need everybody to say, yeah, Baxton, you sounded great, when you don't, because that's how you learn from these type of scenarios. And I do listen to myself a lot. And people sometimes think, well, he listens to himself a lot. He must like the sound of his own voice. The thing is, I don't. And it's almost like you're trying to decrypt and decode things about it and see what happened there. Okay, it's similar to scrubbing and editing. You go frame by frame by frame, saying, I like that. I don't like that, and that needs to change next time. That was okay, it's passable now, but next time, do it this way. And it's like, that is how you get better. Sometimes you get better by being not overly critical, because that isn't good for anybody, but being a bit critical on yourself, because you wouldn't get any better if you said, yep, I did great today.
Oh, yeah, because that's the good thing about getting criticism and positive criticism from people you know and everything, because everything you do isn't going to be perfect.
No.
And for them to honestly give you an appraisal of your work.
I was going to say the positivity there is what's important. Positive criticism, because we all do need that.
You want to hear exactly what it is, and how can you improve if you don't?
Yep. And my uncle really put it in a fantastic way. You were there when I did this. One day on the show, I did Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On.
Right.
And it was not good. It was probably, and I'll say this now because I've made peace with that, probably my worst moment on the show. And
that's
right
a very
after-
difficult piece.
Oh yeah, even for it's a difficult piece for a female to sing. For me as a guy, I don't know what was going on in my head, but he listened to it and he said, listen, I want you to understand this because you can't do that. Because he said, and I quote, I wish we could live in a world where our mistakes would just go away. But and especially for what we're doing right now, when you make a mistake like that, I mean, it lives on. And when people look and search up your name and they find 10 good things,
They
and one
remember.
bad thing, it's that one bad thing that they're going to remember.
But how wonderful, though, to have a mentor, which I'm going to call him
100%.
to you. And I mean, you even had said to me also during the commercial that it was your uncle. If it had not have been through your uncle, you feel that you wouldn't have been singing at all.
Yeah.
So
You
how
know-
wonderful for you to have
Yeah.
an uncle that
That's great.
absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
Broadway for 30 years. is-
Beautiful,
Music
beautiful.
just runs in the family.
Let me ask you, what is your favorite type of music to sing?
Oh, God. I love ballads. I love Broadway. It's just, there's so many things I love about music. I've recently been getting into opera. Which
wow.
Really?
I think it's like, that's like music and it's like purest form ever. It's just like you listen to it and a lot of the times you do not understand what they're saying.
Right, because most of it isn't in English.
Yeah, but at the same time you do. Because even though it's in a language that you don't understand,
but you can feel it.
You feel the emotional connotations, the emotion behind each note. They're happy, they're sad, they're empowered about something. That's just the beauty
So
of
really
music.
the words, that's very interesting because it's more about feelings I'm feeling than word, obviously, because even if you are, say, not in the best of moods, but you pick a song out that's a happy song that's making, well, for you, that might feel happy for you, and you pick that out, it can actually, I'm sure you can attest to this, it changes your mood, just as the audience will experience that too. Right.
But like, it's funny because I like to listen, I consider the music I listen to be a reflection on myself. So meaning if I'm happy, I listen to happy music.
Right.
And my happy music is what keeps me happy. But if I'm sad, I listen to sad music.
Okay.
And it's that sad music that kind of pulls me out of those
Does it really?
sorrows.
Okay, so because, you know, some artists I've talked to say when they are sad, they don't like to listen to sad music because
just
it just makes them sadder.
That's just my bread and butter because it helps me out. It makes me feel what I need to feel, and then it's over.
Then you get over
It's
it.
done.
And then you get
I
over
see
it.
that,
Okay.
I see that.
I
And then you go
understand
to a
that
happy
completely.
song. You then have a happy song coming. Right.
Okay, that's a good way to get, you know.
But
to-
everybody is different,
get
and
through
that's
it. Oh, I know,
we'll
but
see that on our show
I
from
like
interviewing.
to see
Lovely.
how how
absolutely.
different people get through
Absolutely.
different moods, because I know myself that a lot of times what I am doing, my artwork is reflected through the music that I'm listening to, and also by the way I'm feeling. There's so many different variables that are part of this. But when I finally sit down and go, this is all
That's
there.
Very interesting, because I actually never really looked at myself that I was painting my moods, but actually because again, if people know my story, and unfortunately Steve, my husband, got sick after our marriage, but now he's much better. He's getting better. But my art, people tell me, you did this at a difficult time. I hadn't even realized that.
Yeah,
they say chaos,
Yes.
but I didn't see that. So pointing that out to me is very
I
interesting.
know. I can see that by looking at my art.
Yes, I now
different-
can. I see
You know, because
that,
I had a
yeah.
dark period when I did all dark work, and now my art is more it's more colorful and more happy and.
It's, And like,
2 more minutes.
the way I look at it, I write as well. When people see the kind of stuff I write, they run for the hills. They're like, oh my gosh, this is horrifying, and you're such a happy person. Each person has, I believe, a certain amount of darkness and demons inside of them. And sometimes people choose to put those darkness and demons inside the world. And other times people choose to put those darkness and demons into a creative outlet.
And I've just been told we're coming to the end. This half hour went so fast, but I believe, are you going to sing another song as we?
Well, I got a demo.
Okay, great.
Okay,
All right.
we'd
so
love that.
just
So if
be-
we could, you know, if we can just listen to that, it's just, you know,
and
we'll go out with
see
that.
you all next week, same
music,
time.
and thank you for
And thank
watching
you
us,
for
and
being-
our and if you ever want to call in, our phone number is
Baxton, you know the number.
Baxton knows the number better than we do.
I'd be very sure.
No, it's
888.
888-994-4995. Please get in touch with us because we would love to talk to you.
And thank you so much.
Thank
You were
you,
very
guys. It's been an
informative.
absolute
Okay.
pleasure. Thank you, guys, for this
So we're going
opportunity.
to play a song that's going to take us out, or I think maybe you're going to sing in person.
Now,
There we
here we
go.
go.
Oh, my love,
for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. Alone, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. Godspeed your love to me.
Thank you for watching Inside the Artist's Mind. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week as we explore more about the artist's passions and inspirations.